Now let's review this question copy. Question 1a is define pinocytosis. Pinocytosis is similar to phagocytosis, but involves the uptake of liquid materials. In this process, a small invagination forms in the cell membrane, which surrounds the liquid, creating a pinocytic vesicle. This vesicle then detaches from the cell membrane and moves into the cell. Also from question 1c, draw with labeling the prokaryotic cell. Question 2b, during which phase or stage does the following occur? The formation or appearance of the ester, or the astral filaments. This takes place in the prophase. The disappearance of the nucleolus also takes place in the prophase. Centrosome duplication. This happens in the interphase. Decrease in number of chiasmata. This happens in the diakinesis of prophase 1 of meiosis 1. And finally, chromosome duplication into 2 clear chromatids. This takes place in the pachytene of prophase 1 of meiosis 1. Now here we set pachytene instead of prophase just because they mentioned the word clear, because this is how they phrase it in the book. Is this weird? Yes, this is very weird, but we cannot really do anything about it. Also from question 2c, what is the fate of the hydrogen produced in glycolysis during the fermentation processes? First, we have in the alcoholic fermentation, the acetaldehyde will be reduced by the hydrogen from the glycolysis, turning it into ethanol alcohol, plus 2 ATP, as you can see in this equation. Second, in the lactic acid fermentation, the pyruvic acid will be reduced and it will get converted into lactic acid, as you can see in this equation. Question 3a, fill in the blank. Energy produced from glycolysis equals blank, and from aerobic respiration equals blank. The energy from the glycolysis equals 2 ATP, and from the aerobic respiration is 38 ATP. Question 4b, what is the location and function, or significance instead of function, for each of the following? The basal body. The location is at the base of cilia and flagella in cells that contain cilia and flagella. And its function, it has a vital role in the movement of cilia and flagella. The cristae, we said that the cristae are formed in the inner membrane of the mitochondria, and the cristae represent curves and folds of the inner membrane of the mitochondria. The function is that to increase the surface area of the inner layer. Question 5c, what are the characteristics or features for each of the following? The nucleus of fatty cells. The nucleus of the fatty cell is flat and peripheral in location. I'm putting this here because the location of the nucleus was actually mentioned when we discussed the nucleus. Question 6b, what is responsible for each of the following? The conversion of glucose sugar into polysaccharide is the leucoplast, the colorless plastids.